there are no ifs, buts, or maybes anymore. The threat of climate change is real, dangers are imminent, and the future is catastrophic. This is the message from the report of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, and it confirms what we already know and can see in the world around us. From wildfires because of extreme heat and moisture loss, to devastating floods because of extreme rain events and tropical cyclones because of the changing temperatures between the sea and the land surfaces. The future, quite simply, is here, and it should worry us enormously. Indeed, this report, coming as it is from the normally conventional and conformist world of buttoned-up scientists, should scare us into action, but real and meaningful action. There are some key takeaways from the IPCC report that I would like to discuss. Number one, that the world could hit 1.5 degrees Celsius temperature rise as early as 2040, which means that the speed of rise of emissions and the consequent temperature increase has accelerated over these last few decades. So instead of this being about the future, we are talking about a change that could be as imminent as 2040. And 1.5 degree Celsius temperature rise, we have to understand, is a guardrail. It's a safety net of what is relatively safe. And this, what IPCC is now saying, could be breached in the next 2 decades itself. 2, science can now attribute climate change to specific weird weather events. And this report is different because for the first time, scientists at IPCC have come together and are no longer coy about telling us that climate change is caused by human-related activities. That is clear. But they are going a step further. They are able to attribute climate change to specific extreme weather events. So we know with greater certainty today of the role of climate change in, say, the extreme heat event in Canada, or the wildfires in Greece which are happening today, or the floods in Germany. This is new and important. But third, the big takeaway from the report is that the world cannot bank on sinks to absorb our emissions. Let me explain what this means. IPCC is telling us that the relative efficiency of sinks, and the sinks are the Earth's natural cleaning system, the oceans, the forests, and the soils which absorb carbon dioxide, their ability will go down in the coming years as emissions continue to rise. And just understand the consequence of this. Currently, oceans and forests absorb some 50% of the emissions that we release in the atmosphere each year. And now what we are hearing is that their ability to absorb these emissions will actually go down as the pace of heating goes up. So what it's really, the policy implication of this is that we cannot bank on the sinks to clean up the emissions in the future at the same rate. And this is important because the new googly in the world has been net zero. And the net zero plans of countries has been, for instance, the US has said that it will become net zero by 2050 or China by 2060. And this means they will remain below what their terrestrial sinks or carbon capture technology will be able to soak up or clean up. Now, if we take on board what IPCC is saying, then the sinks have reached their tipping points. And countries will have to work even harder to plant even more trees to be able to sequester the same amount of carbon dioxide. So I think we need to understand that the world has really run out of excuses. It has run out of time and space, and it needs to act now.